Hey guys, welcome back to ADP Art Creations. Good morning, America. Good morning, Monday. Right? Well, good afternoon, Monday now. But, anyways, guys, today we're going to talk about Lucia Harris. And guys, this is a great one to celebrate for Black History Month. I'm telling you. So guys, sit back and relax and enjoy this live. Feel free to chat, be respectful in the chat, and to me on the panel. All right, guys, let's get into it. Okay, so May Harris was born in Mentor City, Mississippi, to Ethel Harris and Willie Harris, a sharecropper in the cotton fields. She was the fourth of five daughters and 10th, 11th children, all of whom attended Amanda Elsie High School near Greenwood, Mississippi. All of her brothers and one of her older sisters, Janie, also played basketball. Harris played basketball under Coach Conway Stewart in high school. She won the Most Valuable Player Award 3 years in a row, served as a team captain, and made the state All-Star team. She scored a school record 46 points in one game and led her school to the state tournament in Jackson, Mississippi. After her high school graduation, she had planned to attend Alcorn State University, which did not have a women's basketball team. However, she was recruited by Melvin Hemphill to play for Margaret Wade, who was restarting a collegiate women's team at Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi. She attended school on a combination of academic scholarships and work study funds, since this was prior to one of those Title I schools. Um, okay, so her college career. Let's get into that one. This is exciting. This is just amazing, guys. This is what it's all about. In her first year at Delta State, 1973 to 74, Harris helped the Lady Statesmen to a record 16-2 record. However, they finished third in the regional tournament and failed to qualify for the national tournament. In 1974 to 75 season, the Lady Statesmen qualified for the national tournament at Harrisonburg, Virginia. They went all the way to the final where they met their Mighty Max um accumulator University, who had won the last three consecutive AIAW championships. In the final, Harris scored 32 points and recorded 16 points to lead Delta State pass to a 90. It was a 90-81. The 1975 championship game was televised. This was the first year that the women's basketball games were. Run it back, ADP. This was the first year. This was 1975, guys. This was the first year that the women's basketball games were nationally televised by a major network. That is important to know. As you continue to watch, women's history, WNBA, that is something good to know. That season, Delta State went undefeated with a 28-0 record, the only undefeated college basketball season that year, men or women. Harris scored a total of 138 points, 63 rebounds in 4 games at the national tournament, and was named as the tournament's most valuable player. In 1975 and 76 season, Delta State met again in the national tournament final. Harris again led Delta State with 30 points and 18 rebounds in a 69-64 victory. That season, she led the nation in scoring with 1,060 points and 31.2 points per game average, including 58-point game against Tennessee Tech. In her senior year, 1976 to 77 season, Delta State played a game in the Madison Square Garden in which Harris scored 47 points. This is one of the first women's basketball games ever played there. In 1977, Delta State went to the national tournament final for the third year in a row. In the final, Harris achieved 23 points and 16 rebounds as Delta State defeated Louisiana State University 68-55, their third consecutive national title. Harris was named the national tournament's most valuable player. She also was named the All-American first team during Delta State's three winning seasons. Her college career record was 109-6 and included victories over later NCAA Division I powerhouses such as the University of Tennessee, Baylor University, the University of Mississippi, Louisiana State University, and Louisiana Tech University. Harris finished her college career with 2,981 points and 1,662 rebounds, averaging 25.9 points and 14.5 rebounds per game. She also graduated holding 15 of the 18 of the Delta State's team single game and career records. In 77, excuse me guys about that. 1977, she won the inaugural Honda Sports Award for basketball, as well as the Broderick Cup, an award outstanding female athletes get in college. During her tenure of Delta State, Harris was the only African American player on the team. Let's talk about her national career, her professional career. Hey, She Wiz. Hey, big girl. So her national team career. In 1975, Harris was selected the United States national team in the FIBA World Championship for women in Colombia and the Pan American Games in Mexico City, Mexico. She teamed up with high school star Nancy Lieberman. Yeah, y'all see that name came back up, huh? and fellow college stars Ann Myers and Pat Head. In the FIBA World Championship, the United States compiled a 4-3 record and finished in 8th place. In the Pan American Games, the United States team went unbeaten in 7 games to win the gold medal, their first win since 1963. They averaged 86.7 points per game with an average winning margin of 34.4. The following year, Harris was selected to represent the United States in the 1976 Summer Olympics in Montreal, Canada, the first women's basketball tournament in the Olympic Games. She used the number 7 on her Olympics jersey. She teamed up with most of our teammates in the 1975 Pan American Games, including, once again, Lieberman, Myers, and Head. In the opening game against Japan, Harris scored first ever points in the women's Olympic basketball tournament. The United States team won 3 games and lost 2 games against Japan and the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union team went undefeated and won the gold medal, while the United States won the silver medal. Harris played in all 5 games, averaging 15.2 points and 7.0 rebounds per game. We're going to talk about her professional career, and then, guys, I have 2 videos I am going to show about Lusia Harris, and they are pretty good. You get to hear her daughter speak, 2 of her children, and also you'll see the little special treats ADP got coming up. Okay, so in the 7th round of the 1977 NBA draft, yes, guys, NBA draft, the New Orleans Jazz selected Harris with the 137th pick overall. She became the second woman ever drafted by an NBA team after Denise Long. Denise Long is another one. Oh, okay, girl. Who was selected by the San Francisco Warriors in 1969 draft. However, the league voided the Warriors selection. Thus, Harris became the first and only woman ever officially drafted. Harris did not express an interest to play in the NBA and declined to try out for the Jazz. It was later revealed that she was pregnant at the time, which made her unable to attend the Jazz training camp. She was selected ahead of 33 male players, including the Jazz 8th round selection Dave Spencer from the University of Toledo. Harris never played in the she never played in the NBA or in any other men's basketball league, but played professional basketball briefly in 1979 to 1980 season with the Houston Angels of the Women's Professional Basketball League. She was initially picked as the number one free agent by the Angels in 1978, the league's inaugural season. Her legacy. Let's talk about her legacy, and then we're going to talk about where she is now. After you watch the clips, well, the two that I picked out, we'll talk about where she is, but you'll probably find out in there. But for right now, I want to say just say her legacy right quick. Okay, so for her achievements and contributions to Delta State University, Harris was inducted into the Delta State's Hall of Fame in 1983. In 1992, she became the first African American woman inducted in the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Not the second, but the first. Right? In 1999, Harris, along with her college coach, Margaret Wade, and her teammate in the national team, Nancy Lieberman, Ann Myers, and Pat Head, were among the 26 inaugural inductees to the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. So she got that too. And man, she did her thing. She should, right? She has also been named for the International Women's Sports Hall of Fame. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, guys, if you haven't watched this, I don't know if it's still available, but I'm gonna look into it because I want to watch it myself. The Queen of Basketball is a film about Harris. It won the 2022 Academy Award for Best Documentary Short Subject. It was produced and directed by Canadian filmmaker Penn Proudfoot with Shaquille O'Neal and Steph Curry as good to know, guys. Good to know. Okay, are you hearing those names? Okay, Ben Proudfoot, Shaquille O'Neal, and Steph Curry as executive producers. It was released June 10th, 2021, 7 months before. And I'm gonna leave right now. Can't say it anymore. I will stop. But let me tell you, these two gentlemen right here has always had their hands in a part of supporting women's sports. Let that be known. Just because we don't hear about a lot of stuff, it's in there where they help behind closed doors, and they don't always broadcast it, right? So we're gonna get into the video clips or whatever, and guys, they are really good. Big girl, big girl. Don't be coming into this history YouTube class and don't be listening, because I already touched all that. Big girl, you don't get no grade. Your grade is incomplete right now. She wish you good, girl. You got an A+. But anyways, guys, I'm just messing. Let's get ready. Let's get into it, guys. Sit back and enjoy this. This is from the Utah Jazz. If you look it up, it'll just say Utah Jazz or whatever, and it's really good. So I'm gonna play it, the whole thing, because you get to hear from her daughters. Okay, guys. So let's get into it.
Number 6 for Delta State, number 45, Lusia Harris. Working the ball inside as they often do, the Lusia Harris. Lucy with a rebound, and Johnson, the University's latest chance on it. 3 times, defending champion.
Can I get a mic check?
Oh, yeah, mic check.
All right, let's take one step back for me.
You could go first.
You're ready for
Wow. Oh, my God.
You're the oldest.
I guess that's a great thing, huh?
Oh. We're at the Delta Center, and powerful she was on the court. I just remember asking her, Mom, did you play, like, were you pretty good?
Oh, hold on, guys.
This game.
I hate those commercials. I don't hate them. Sorry. I'm just saying they be all up in.
And her ability on the court stood above everybody else.
She was a dreamer. I mean, our mom is from Mentor City, Mississippi, which is literally in the middle of nowhere.
Lucy was big time. I mean, she was Player of the Year. Delta State won 3 championships. She was the MVP 3 years in a row for the tournament. I mean, she was a Broderick Cup winner. And Lusia Harris was the very first to score a basket in the Olympics for women's basketball. That will always be history. In 77, the North.
It's like, first of all, is that really even true? You know, that sounds like a fantasy.
Well, I just remember thinking, why? Like, why would they draft her on a men's team?
Right.
Why? Is there not a women's team?
No.
Or maybe she was just that awesome?
In the room with Karl Malone and Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley and, you know, and they're taking pictures with her. And so you're like, okay, girl, you must have been really good.
She's just had a lot of firsts in her life. And I just wish that more people knew about it.
They need to know that Lusia Harris Stewart was that girl.
Shoot it! Oh, almost. Gotta watch you.
I know she did a lot of great things, and you know we should be proud of those things. But I think what I'm most proud of is that she was our mom. I feel like I'm lucky.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think anybody had a better mom than what we had.
No way.
Sorry, but
Yeah.
She loved her children, and they loved her back. I mean, that bond that she had with her children was so important to her.
I think from birth, like my mom and I were like we were just very like connected. When my mom would go out, she would have to take me with her because I wouldn't go with anybody else. She always took me to basketball camps. She would go and work those camps. And so I had the opportunity to go there. She was my coach my senior year. And my mom was that mom in the stands that you're like, girl, please sit down somewhere.
She had the long nails, so she would be the parent that's yelled. She would be coaching from the side.
It's like,
And you just hear the nails in the hands.
Please. I did not understand how I should have cherished those moments then. It was kind of like, girl, leave me alone.
I do have this memory of practice. One of our players, who was a center, was posting up under the board, and mom was actually guarding her. And I remember when she went up to make the shot, I remember sitting there thinking, oh Lord, please do not take it easy on mom, because she is going to hit this ball.
Yeah.
And she went up, bam, and you could hear and see the ball go all the way across the half court. All you could hear was, oh, and I was like, yeah, oh gosh, I would never want to play her.
She was just very tough on us from like just early, like 3-4 years old. She established like a foundation for us, not just for athletics, but for academics as well. You know, she was from a time period where opportunities had honestly just become available for Black children to integrate universities and colleges. Her first year at Delta State, it was like only 5 like African American students on campus. A lot of us cannot even imagine what kind of world that is. And so education was absolutely important. And she instilled that in us from the very beginning. My mom did receive an offer to coach with the Utah Stars. I just remember her saying, no, I have to raise my girls and I want to be here for y'all. And I'm like, girl, you have lost your mind.
Right. What
like,
are you thinking?
Send me to live with my daddy.
Yes.
Like,
Do not
we would
pass
figure
on
that
this.
out. This is when the WNBA first premiered. And it's like, how could you turn this down? But my mom was like, no. She was just adamant about being there and raising us and not missing a moment. She did not want to leave her girls, but then she also was about her business. You know, you don't just have this athlete, you have this educator, you have this philanthropist. Like, I mean, she was so many more things. And so when it came to us, she basically showed us and modeled for us that, like, if you can set your mind to it, you can do it.
I remember we used to have this competition growing up. We wanted to see who would get their doctorate first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was between Crystal and I. We were like, we're going to be the first doctors in the family.
Girl, get
Mom
to be
comes up and gets an honorary doctorate right before Crystal graduates. So I was like, yes, you lost.
Ma'am. All of our accomplishments are because of our mother. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that she has taught me is that when you have an incredible mother behind you, you can do anything. Like nothing is impossible. Nothing. Can I say it this way? If your mama has her shit together, you can really do some incredible things in life.
In touch for whatever reason. I just felt connected to her.
Ann Myers was a very dear friend of hers. My mom kept every card, every letter, everything, and he sent her every single thing.
You know, we just always stayed close because I just had this affinity for her. She was like my sister. Lucy opened up to me about the mental health issues she had. It was hard for me to hear. I didn't know how I could help her. I mean, she couldn't get out of the house. Literally could not step out of the house. People always thought, well, Lucy, you need to help yourself. You know, Lucy, you need to do this. But, you know, none of us understood back in the 80s or whatever what mental health was and what she was going through.
She was in a lot of pain. Like, I'm not sure people understand like how much physical and emotional pain that she was in. My sister and I got to see a lot of it. I mean, from childhood, middle school, high school. I mean, we have some stories. Yeah. Oh my God.
She didn't want people to know
for sure
about her mental illness.
But that was times like it wasn't culturally accepted.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially in Black families. Like people don't talk about mental illness.
You don't go see a therapist.
You don't go tell people telling people
go tell people your business.
Even though they tried to hide those lows from us, we knew something was wrong. We knew she wasn't at her best. Just imagine how the two of us, being like responsible for her when she would experience those things. Mm-hmm. And
to have to do that so soon was, most people didn't have to do that.
Yeah. They were there for her through tough times and that they had to struggle through that too. I'm sure that they didn't understand what their mother was going through, but they were there to support her.
Like we sacrificed a lot for her, but it wasn't there's no resentment. There's no, I would do it again. If I could do it again, I would.
This woman raised us and took care of us. We had to.
We do want to turn now. We're going to talk basketball. Basketball royalty, in fact.
The queen of basketball?
The queen of basketball.
The queen of basketball.
Her story now the focus of a new documentary short at the Tribeca Festival.
When we went to Tribeca to see the actual film, it was the first time that I saw her like tell her own story in her own words. To me, that was just very powerful. Saying to other people, it's okay to be different. Mm-hmm. It's okay to have mental illness.
Oh yeah, we both looked at each other in tears saying, oh my gosh, she told her story. Mm-hmm. She told everyone. I know that was a huge hurdle for her to overcome. And for her to overcome it on the big screen in front of, thousands at that time, probably now millions.
Right.
It was just like, whoa.
Was I shocked when she passed? Absolutely. Oh my God. But guess what my mom did on the day that she passed? She sent all of us a text message.
Oh my God, yeah. With a picture.
With a picture. All of her friends, all of her family members. She sent us a picture. Like she told us goodbye.
No. I felt that she should have had more time to let more people know about who she was and, what she accomplished.
People didn't even know who Lusia Harris was. And it's a shame. We talk about Asia Wilson and Brittany Griner and, some of the great centers of this league. But, Lucy was the beginning. Lucy was the start. And not just as a center, but as an African-American woman, especially now with the league being probably, 85% African-American women in the WNBA. They should know who Lucy is. I mean, this is a woman that opened doors for a lot of women where they are today.
When I think about how women can continue to emulate her legacy, I think about it's making a conscious decision to be the best version of you. Whether you're the first person in your family to go to college, whether you're coaching your basketball team, becoming a new mother, whatever that is, it's being the best version of yourself. And knowing that version of yourself it's okay.
Mm-hmm. That's enough.
That's enough.
I do feel like it's our job to make sure that her legacy lives on, because this is what Mom wanted, and the world should know who she is. Lusia Harris was a 3-time All-American.
Lusia Harris was the all-time leader in points and rebounds at Delta State University.
Lusia Harris was the first woman to score a basket in the Olympics.
Lusia Harris was the first female college player to be inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame.
Lusia Harris was a charter member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated Kappa Pi chapter.
Lusia Harris was the first woman to be drafted by an NBA team.
Lusia Harris Stewart was my teammate, but more important, she was my friend.
She was so many things.
She was my best friend.
She was my biggest inspiration.
Biggest cheerleader. But she was our mom.
But I was going to say, but above all of those things, she was our mom.
She was our mama. Yeah.
Guys, this was so, oh my gosh. Y'all know how I get. This was so great. This whole Jazz did their thing with showing this. This was so great. This is what everybody who watches any type of women's sports or sports period, they need to know about Lucy. Like, Lucy was a baddie. Look, she was that person. You hear me? Now I have one more because Robin always got some. She be in on it. So this was one of her faves growing up. So I want to play that little clip of Robin. She's actually got the chance to have Lucy on her show. Well, she's on the camera and Robin's talking to her like that or whatever and stuff. But just to hear her daughters. I love it. Just to hear from her daughters. And guys, if you could catch that, what did I say the name of it was? The Queen of Basketball. That is what it's called. I'll look it up and next live I'll get back to you to see where you could watch it. But she's right. They're all right. People need to continue to know about Lucy. Like, the story just doesn't stop because someone's not here anymore. We're the newcomers, the players. This is why I say, like, the players coming in the WNBA players, the college players, all of them need to have history lessons on the vets of basketball. So they fully understand the impact of the women before them. If none of those players know who Lucy is, they should be ashamed of themselves for real, because this lady did it all and such a and did such an amazing job in such a hard time. We talk about, we talk about what Angel go through for us, all the crazy stuff. But Lucy still went through all that and still maintained and was a phenomenal basketball player. So with that, we're going to tap into my last clip, guys, on Lucy, and then I'll give my closing remarks. Yeah, I think let me see if I put it in I think they mentioned that, or maybe Robin does BD mention. Yes, baby. Oh, that's my little one. Oh, great job, Kason. Great job. Yeah, when he passed the next level of Minecraft, he'd be like, I did it. Okay, guys, so we're gonna get into this clip. Let me see if I can go back and pull it up this way. With Robin. Hopefully I can find the one with Robin. Okay.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with River.
Right quick. I love hearing the stories from the players themselves. And then on top of that, her daughters got the opportunity to tell her story all over again as well. And that's what's so great about it. Being able to hear from them. And, of course, we're going to do our shows and our podcasts, but just to be able to
Lusia Harris won 3 national titles at Delta State, an Olympic medal, one of the first women inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame, and was even drafted by the NBA. I got a chance to talk to my childhood hero, the queen of basketball.
Lucy with a rebound. Her name, Lusia Harris.
Number 45, Lusia Harris.
And she reigns supreme as the queen of basketball, dominating the game, inspiring a generation of athletes.
You are a living legend to have won back-to-back 3 national championships at Delta State. What do you remember fondly of those days?
The type of crowds that we had to have such support. It was support from everybody. I got a chance to travel all over the United States, out of the country, and I really enjoyed it.
Her story now the focus of a new documentary short premiering at the Tribeca Festival.
The director, and I'm going to quote him here, he says, "You are one of the most important American athletes of the 20th century." What was it like when they called you and they said, "The queen of basketball, we want to do a film on you"?
When I got the call and they said they wanted to do this documentary, and I was really kind of surprised. That was just unreal.
During her college years at Delta State, the 6'3" South Mississippi native was the center of attention.
Attention, to me is saying that a lot of people are interested in what we're doing.
Then, in 1977, Lucy's talents led to her being the first woman officially drafted by the NBA.
You were drafted by the NBA, the New Orleans Jazz, and you said, no, thank you. And you have no regrets? No regrets?
No regrets. I had my time as a player and as a person that traveled all over the world, and I was ready to just settle down with my family.
Lucy spent more time with loved ones who helped her take charge of her mental health.
There are different forms of mental illness. My form is bipolar. It didn't surface until after I stopped playing. I had a nervous breakdown. I had to return home, and I began to pick myself up.
Her proudest accomplishment? Her 4 children and grandchildren, creating a lasting legacy on and off the court.
Christopher is a lawyer. Eddie has a master's. Christina received a doctorate. Krista has a doctorate in education.
What do you want people to learn from your story?
I especially want the young people to understand that if you work hard, really willing to work hard, anything is possible.
I gotta tell you, I'm as proud of her today as I was as a small child in Mississippi watching her play. And the film is beautiful. She waited to watch the documentary for the first time at its premiere last week here in New York, and she received a huge standing ovation. The Queen of Basketball is showing at the Tribeca Festival and will be released on NewYorkTimes.com later this month. I hope you get a chance to check it out.
Let me close that. Okay, guys, there you have it. Lucy did her thing in the basketball world, and it was an amazing journey for her. And it is true what her daughters were saying, and even what she was saying. I don't know if a lot of people knew um, that she had bipolar and was dealing with bipolar. And if you know anyone in your family or family, friends, or whatever that deals with this, you know it's not always easy. So kudos and so much love and respect to her daughters, because to have to go through that with their parents, but the love that she showed them, they were able to show it back to their mother when she needed them the most, even when they were younger. To, you know what I'm saying? To now, you can just tell by the way that the lady spoke and that whole conversation. You could just tell they really love their mama, even through everything that she had to go through, because she sacrificed for them. And that's a real OG mama right there. You put your, we do it now. I go in the store, we buy stuff, and we put our, we'll get our kids stuff, and we'll see something we like, but then we'll put it back. Sometimes we do that. But yeah, she was amazing, guys. And we're gonna have to keep her. I'm gonna have to run it back again every so often so that people can be aware of who Lucy is, because she definitely was no joke. She didn't. She had a lot of trials and tribulations, and she fought through all of that to become one remarkable, basketball player, mother, and she left a legacy for everybody who's playing women basketball today. So yeah, sometimes they do get, our players, our vets get forgotten or whatever, but Lucy should never be forgotten. None of them should, because the game has to start somewhere. It doesn't just start with our new generation coming in, and we got to remember that. I'm pretty surprised. Okay, never mind. No, I'm not. That the WNBA doesn't show, being that this is celebrating, Black History Month, that they don't show the players who have had an impact, do clips. You're doing clips for everything else, little clips for everything else. But hey, I'm just a messenger. I did hear a big girl, I think she was telling me Cheryl spoke on Lucy, so that was good to know. The vets on top of the vets, don't forget. It's this new generation that needs to be aware. Hey, I'm a phenomenal basketball player, but let it be known, it didn't just start with you. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole line. And that clip of them talking about how she doesn't get talked about like that, but the championships recent, we always want to start with the recent, which is okay if that's what you feel like you want to do. But you have to include, if you're going to include the recent, you have to include the history on top of the recent, and that's how it flows together. So guys, I thank you for coming to my live today, allow me to show these clips and read about Lucy Harris, and well, it's for short, Lucia, to talk about her and everything today. And yeah, we had a LSU won, South Carolina won, Raven Johnson, that's so Raven, the real one, boyfriend, won his first Super Bowl, and kudos to them. I'm gonna say this, and I'm not gonna get too much into the Super Bowl. We have to remember, when they do these halftime shows, we gotta pay attention to the history lesson, not so much as pay attention to everything else. Like last year, you had some say about the halftime, but a lot of people forgot the history lesson in that. There were so many symbols and so many different cultural aspects that Kendra did last year. And it was the same with Bad Bunny doing this year, or whatever. And people think United States is just the only thing as being a part of America. Please go and read your history on that. And And just take heed at take heed at the history lessons and what you learn out of the whole thing, regardless of what you may think of anybody's performance and stuff. And one more thing, guys, that was two, right? Okay, my third thing is this, and I'm gonna get off of here or whatever. But was it just me? Whoever know how the history of the Patriots were, because the Seahawks, they have a covering, and it was so spiritual through all those players recognizing who's first, even the coach be first foremost thanking God or whatever. Also, what I noticed with the Patriots, was it just me that one of your key players, you only played them so many minutes. But let's not forget the people that surround these quarterbacks play a part in their history, play a part in them, being successful. Let's not forget that. So you mean to tell me I felt like when it came to the Patriots, that was on the coach. That was on the coach, or whatever. And sometimes when coaches want to uplift certain quarterbacks or whatever, and don't want to see the rest of the team shine around it, it definitely showed yesterday. That's just me. I don't know. I'm ADP. I might not even know what I'm talking about, but that's what I saw. No, big girl, you shouldn't have to, because the United States is just not. I feel like the United States, and it ain't. I feel like it's the history. United States is a part of America. It's not the only thing. I think that if people already knew ahead of time that he was going to perform in another language, they probably could have looked it up on his songs, on the songs he did, and just translate it, or translate the songs while they were watching it on their own. But everybody already knew who was going to perform at the Super Bowl or whatever. So the thing is, what the message, they even put it on the billboard, the message of the overall entertainment and what the symbols and what he was representing. He didn't just he represented like so much in that, so many symbols with the flags and everything or whatever. So for me, I listen to all kinds of music. I do. So I understood bits and pieces of it, but it was for me. If I'm gonna listen to all the Bad Bunny songs, I need to know what he's saying. So some of them, some of the songs he performed, I was able to, but not all of them, or whatever and stuff like that. But the message out of the symbols and what he was trying to get to, he definitely delivered that message. You have 137 million people watching. They got the message. Through it all, they got the message. No, not if they knew. If they knew that this was going to be this type of artist performing, they didn't have to have a translator. If you wanted to, and we can agree and disagree. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. No, everybody got, their different opinions. But there's where you go. We knew ahead of time, way ahead of time. They've been announced who was going to be the entertainer, for that. And I just like the unity and the no division through the message. And yeah, I like some of them jams too. But it was one in there that was really one of his songs was really deep, and I looked into it. Of course, ADP gonna look into that one that's real deep. And yeah. No, he didn't just represent his culture. He had different cultures with the flags also, and it was also in his music. Yes, they did, big girl. They announced it a long time ago before the Super Bowl even came. Bad Bunny is one of those names. You're gonna see it. It's not something like, what I'm saying, you're not gonna know who he is or whatever. But yes, They announced last year who was gonna be doing the Super Bowl halftime. Same thing with Kendrick. They always announce it ahead of time. So they knew, they do if they wanted to, if they wanted to get the songs translated or whatever and stuff like that. But I love the message that he brought, through all the symbols of everything. You have to really go back and watch it. Just like with Kendrick, I had to go back and watch. I saw it; it was phenomenal, and I had to go back and watch all the symbols and his statement and when he bought Jackson out and all that kind of stuff. Some of just different stuff of history. When these artists are doing this entertainment, they have a message, and this was the message that needed to be put out there at this time or whatever. They knew. I don't know why they wouldn't. When you have an artist that speaks different languages, they knew, because it was already known. It was all over socials and everything. These things. It just I guess maybe people weren't expecting, like, what I'm saying, they may have been expecting for people to, some may have been expecting for it to be have people out there translating different stuff like that, which they did have certain things on the billboard. So I mean, but and then a lot of stuff they probably, they didn't probably have set up because of safety reasons. He risked his life to be out there and to deliver that message too. It was something. But all in all, Big Girl, they knew. There's no way nobody didn't know. If you knew about Bad Bunny and they announced the halftime show, and that they said that he's gonna perform, and he doesn't. Well, he does speak. Well, he was speaking English towards the end. You knew that you were gonna have a different artist at the Super Bowl. So if you knew and you felt like you may not understand all of the songs and stuff, you could have went back and went to his songs and translated them, because majority of the songs from his last album were the ones that he were doing. And you could translate. You know how sometimes YouTube had them translating videos. YouTube, they always have like the translating videos and stuff like that to translate the words of the song. Mostly all of them, but I'm not for sure with all of his songs and stuff like that. So I'm saying they knew what type of artist was coming to the Super Bowl. And was going to perform that show. So I loved it. I didn't have a problem with it, or whatever. And kudos to him for getting that message out, and kudos to the Seahawks winning, and could have went either way. The Patriots could have won and could have went either way it went, but in all my days of watching the Super Bowl, man, This one was quite different or whatever. Go back and look at it, Big Girl. You'll see it's clearly on the billboard, up on the billboard. But you got to go back and watch it, or go back and, like, what I'm saying, run through the clips, and you'll see what the message was about it. But definitely it was good, and everything that he put in there was great for me. That's just my opinion. Everybody got different opinions. And stuff like that, and that's okay. We can agree and disagree, right? So thank you guys for coming to my show today. And Big Girl, you must have watched the game. You probably turned it off, Big Girl, because it was at the game. Go back and watch the clips and stuff. But yes, thank you guys for coming. I thank you for listening to me about Lucia, and yeah, she was great. What you saying note to? I don't know what Big Girl's talking about, but it was in there. You have to go back and watch the clips and stuff like that. But I think Big Girl probably said forget this, because it wasn't there. It was a long, drawn out Super Bowl. I'm telling you, but all all in all, hey, usually most of the Super Bowl half times were good regardless. Some of them you'd be like, what in the world? But hey, most of them for me. But yeah, the commercials weren't what I expected. Definitely wasn't what I expected, but hey, that's what it is too. I gotta make sure it was more commercials than what they were showing because I was like, what? But yeah, guys, so I will see you guys on Wednesday and Friday this week, and I will be putting up my thumbnails to let you guys know who the next person will be talking about. And yeah, I look forward to hearing through your on your lives, on your podcasts and stuff like that. How did you feel about that? Just listen to everybody's thoughts on the game and stuff like that. As far as the playing, how did they play and stuff like that? Because I was like, whoo, man, that was really something. But it's all good. Okay, guys, we got Unrivaled tonight. I believe Keisha and them is covering Unrivaled games tonight. Or I know she said she was doing Wednesday one. So I have to check with the thumbnails and everything that they put up ahead of time. Oh, yeah, she was there. I'll be so happy to see everybody winning. I'm so happy. I was so happy to see her winning and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just never know. And she meant that about that Dr. Pepper. Me and Dr. Pepper don't mix, but to each his own. I'm a Mountain Dew, but hey. But yeah, that was one. Yeah, but it was nothing like it normally be. Normally you get a crack out of them commercials and all that kind of stuff, and it was like, okay, America. Oh, Lexi Hall. Oh no, a Big Girl. She's still. Kudos to Felicia and Big Girl. I wake up this morning with some shenanigans. The trainer Unrivaled, but we kind of figure out and we know why there was a trade made in somewhat. So I'm not going to speak on it because I want that person to be able to tell their own story. And right now it's just not the time, to talk about that or whatever. But no, Big Girl, Lexi Holt is still not invited to the cookout. I mean, I checked out last time and I was like, oh, maybe she might get no, Big Girl, nope, not yet. We're gonna have to see how the season go. She is still on the adoption list until I see how the season go, if we have a season. And once again, you can let me tell you something. When you try to play in women's faces, people faces, period, man. Okay. If that is strike it is, if that's how you want to do it, because one thing you cannot do and women don't like is for you to play in their face. So WNBA, get that CBA together. That's all I can tell you, because when the women are fighting together and they're gonna win. Sometimes anything you win in life is not always easy. Anything you take up for, you gotta fight. You gotta show them you know how to fight. You can't threaten me. You gonna threaten me with these little play things you putting out? No, girl. I ain't saying nothing about. Oh no. Bam Bam, her Bam Bam processing, her stuff still processing. It might take about 5-6 years, Big Girl, for her adoption process. It might take that long. That's what the word is telling me on my end. And I'll check back. But yeah, they said it's on hold for about 5 years. But yes, guys, thank you so much. I know ADP be like, I'm gonna go. But thank you so much for everything. And guys, remember to love people, be respectful to people. You never know what they're going through behind closed doors. With so much going on in the world today, I don't care if you red, black, green, yellow, blue, purple, whatever the case may be. Let's come together, because that's the problem. When we are not united, we can't win nothing. But when we fight together, we win. Remember that. No, you can't expedite the process. They said no. you know, through the adoption list with Bam Bam. They clearly said it had it in red that it's gonna take about 5 years for her. Oh girl, that's good. That's good. You have all that love for Alexa Hall. That's fine. This is not about love. This is about, you know, some other things or whatever and stuff like that. I ain't saying about Alexa Hall game or nothing like that. She don't know, but I know. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. I ain't talking about her skills now, you know. But I ain't even gonna talk about her skills because she is on the adoption list. So we can't even talk about that. But okay, guys, thank you so much. And I will catch you on the next one. And in the chats. Oh yeah, I will be calling more games. I just gotta get it together. And guess what, guys? How about ADP was up there taking notes? I went back. This is the thing. You gotta have a teachable spirit. So I went back and studied the basketball terms. Oh yeah, I'm not coming to play. Oh girl, don't say that, big girl. Big girl. Woo. Okay, I'm gonna check with. They might have increased the years with Bam Bam, but yeah. But we gonna see, guys. Make sure y'all look out for Anissa playing in AU. We got a lot of greats over there. Alyssa's over there. Ariel Powers is over there. You know, Deja Kelly and all that. But Anissa Monroe, I got to go back and watch the last game. But okay, guys, love you. Stay safe. Peace.